The wheels of justice began to turn, slowly grinding forward. The courtroom, a place of supposed fairness, became a battleground where every word and gesture was scrutinized. The stakes were high, and the tension was palpable. Karmelo Anthony, now the center of a firestorm, faced serious charges. His life, once ordinary, was now under a microscope, every detail dissected by the media and the public. The accusations against him were severe, and the consequences, if found guilty, would be life-altering. The prosecution painted a picture of guilt. They meticulously laid out their case, piece by piece, aiming to convince the jury of Anthony's culpability. Their narrative was compelling, filled with damning evidence and persuasive arguments. The defense, clinging to Anthony's claims of self-defense, prepared for a grueling legal battle. They knew the odds were stacked against them, but they were determined to fight. Every strategy, every piece of evidence was crucial in their quest to prove his innocence. Bail was set at a staggering $1 million. It was an amount that seemed insurmountable, a figure designed to keep Anthony behind bars. The family scrambled to gather the funds, knowing that his freedom, even temporary, was essential for their fight. A figure seemingly designed to keep Anthony imprisoned, to punish before a trial could even begin. The emotional toll on the family was immense. Each day in jail felt like an eternity, a constant reminder of the uphill battle they faced. Later, under the crushing weight of public scrutiny, it was reduced to $250,000. The media frenzy outside the courthouse was relentless. Each development in the case broadcasted to the world, adding to the pressure. And the white supremacist trolls started to cry because of it. Still, freedom came at a steep price: house arrest. Anthony was confined to his home, his movements restricted by an electronic ankle monitor. The sense of freedom was an illusion, as the walls of his house became a different kind of prison. But confinement offered little solace. The constant anxiety, the fear of what might happen next, weighed heavily on the family. Their home, once a place of comfort, now felt like a fortress under siege. Because of these cowards, the Anthony family became prisoners in their own home. They lived in a state of perpetual fear, always looking over their shoulders, wondering if the next threat would be the one to break them. They have taken to threatening kids now, which is in their history. The specter of fear followed them everywhere. Every shadow, every unexpected noise became a source of terror. The nights were the worst, filled with sleepless hours and haunting thoughts. Death threats, chilling in their specificity, flooded their phones. Each message was a reminder of the hatred directed towards them, a constant barrage of venom that eroded their sense of security. Their mailbox overflowed with hate mail, each message a venomous barb. The letters filled with vitriol and malice were a daily reminder of the public's animosity. Strangers, their faces contorted with anger, appeared at their doorstep. The confrontations were terrifying, each encounter a potential flashpoint for violence. The line between justice and vengeance blurred, leaving a family vulnerable and terrified. The Anthony family, caught in the crossfire of a legal and public battle, struggled to find a semblance of normalcy in a world turned upside down. The digital world, a breeding ground for unchecked aggression, has become a double-edged sword. On one hand, it connects us, allowing for the free flow of information and ideas. On the other, it harbors dark corners where hate festers and grows. This dark side of the internet became a weapon wielded against the Anthony family. What started as a tragic event quickly spiraled into a nightmare of harassment and fear. Their address, phone numbers, even personal details of their lives were plastered across the internet. The anonymity of the web gave cowards the courage to attack without consequence. And these white supremacists and their flunkies, who are usually tethers and sellouts, they have now been expressing their strong desire and wishing to see and possibly participate in Karmelo Anthony being sexually assaulted. What heterosexual male thinks of this? This is still a child, and these people are pedophiles to express this desire out in public. Doxing, a cowardly tactic meant to intimidate and silence, became the tool of choice for those seeking retribution. It's a form of digital terrorism, aiming to instill fear and disrupt lives. Judge Angela Tucker, the woman tasked with ensuring a fair trial, found herself caught in the crosshairs. Her role in the judicial process made her a target for those who wanted to influence the outcome through fear. Her information, too, was disseminated online, accompanied by threats of violence. The threats were not just idle words. They carried the weight of potential harm, creating a climate of fear. But we all know these trolls wouldn't dare say this out in public, especially against straight-laced black men. The FBI, alarmed by the escalating situation, launched an investigation. They recognized the severity of the threats and the potential for real-world violence. And I hope all of the people involved with threatening that woman and the Anthony family are brought out into the public life and charged and convicted in a federal courtroom. The very foundation of the justice system seemed to tremble under the weight of online vitriol. The integrity of the court was at stake, challenged by the relentless onslaught of digital hate. The online activity surrounding the case revealed a disturbing undercurrent. It wasn't just about one family or one judge. It was a reflection of a broader societal issue. White supremacist groups, emboldened by the tragedy, crawled out from the shadows. They saw an opportunity to spread their hateful ideology, using the internet as their platform. Their rhetoric, dripping with racial animus, painted Karmelo Anthony as a monster, a threat to be extinguished. They twisted the narrative to fit their agenda, fueling the fire of hate. The internet, once hailed as a tool for connection, became a megaphone for hate, amplifying the voices of extremism and prejudice. It highlighted the need for vigilance and action to combat this growing threat. Kala Hayes, Karmelo Anthony's mother, stood before a crowd of reporters, her voice trembling. The fear in her eyes, the exhaustion etched on her face spoke volumes. She pleaded for understanding, for an end to the relentless harassment. Her children, she revealed, were traumatized, living in a constant state of fear. Their home, once a sanctuary, had become a prison. They were too scared to go outside, to attend school, to live their lives. The emotional toll, she explained, was unbearable. Her words, a desperate cry for help, painted a harrowing picture of a family torn apart. Even the simple act of receiving a package, once a mundane part of life, filled them with dread. They couldn't be sure if it was a genuine delivery or another attempt to terrorize them. The constant fear, the uncertainty, had become a suffocating weight. And I support Karmelo Anthony and his family, and I don't care who feels some type of way. And if you cowards feel like you want to approach me, I guarantee you will feel my wrath.